I'd like to start off right away with our social media wall. So we have Casimir the cat back, and he is just so cute. So he is playing with his ball of yarn. He is chilling on the couch. He's literally all the time with us. And you guys also like him a lot. So David Ruiz Badia tweeted that he's ready to start with Casimir in the background. There he is. So whenever you post your pictures with Casimir or your gadgets, your swag, because you can download the logo of Casimir from there, when you post it in the group, we upload you a very, very cool Casimir badge to your SAP community profile. I know some of you guys, so that's Michelle Graypo, that's one of our SAP mentors, that's Anne, one of our SAP influencers. Like, there's really the community coming together to watching SAP Tech Ed together, because we can just physically not yet be together. You might wonder, okay, what on earth? Why are they actually having origami here in the social media? And I can tell you why. So this dog is Mahesh's origami challenge submission, because we started an origami challenge in the SAP community a couple of weeks ago. I'm happy to introduce you to Menina and Josh.
Hey, Lena.
Hello, Lena.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Awesome. How about you?
I'm good. I'm not even tired. So it's 5 a.m. CET, but it's completely fine because I'm so excited to be here. It's just so cool.
And now you've got me to work with, so it's 2 years in a row you've had difficult co-hosts.
Oh my God, Josh, we're just in the first hour, so let's see, maybe I'm the difficult one here.
And I stress the entire time that this is my family, outside of my family at home. I think they're still awake in Philadelphia, and if you're watching, it is what it is. You can enjoy watching me or not, but they deal with me all the time. But the students who come in get to actually enjoy being part of SAP.
You are like doing this big drum roll. Let's get it started.
Of course, let's roll the first video then.
Die Aufzeichnung läuft. 3, 2, 1, meins. Sorry, ich hatte hier auf Stumm. Still, I'm older than SAP.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel great.
Now people really want to guess how old Rui is, probably. Right?
It is early for me.
Right.
Still drinking my coffee.
Okay, no worries. Well, welcome, Al.
Hello, Lena. How are you? Good to see you again.
Hi, Al. It's so good to see you too. How's your Wednesday been so far?
Wednesday's been great. Wednesday's one of my favorite days.
What a fast hour. I'm super excited because a lot of my fan club is here with us. We've got Tom Young on stage, my manager. We've got Rich Heilman. They were both ready to answer questions, but we wanted to also bring in Carl Kessler. So I think Carl's dialing in remotely.
Hey, everyone. Hey,
Nice.
Carl.
Hey, Carl. Hi, Carl. Carl.
Hi, experts. Are there any further changes in the ABAP syntaxes in and beyond 7.5?
Yes.
ABAP. ABAP.
Hi, experts. Can we access normal tables via embedded steampunk or only whitelisted APIs?
So that's a fantastic question.
Nice.
You will see that in the developer keynote later today.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Channel 1. Or welcome if you're just tuning in. It's really great to have you with us. My name is Menina Chow. I'm an SAP community advocate. If you haven't seen it, Josh has posted a blog post about our Channel 1 moderation, which was very personal, and I really can resonate to it. So if you want to feel a little bit what's it like to be staying on this side, I'd say I'm nervous. Josh says he's not nervous but excited. We're here with the Integrated Intelligence Suite topic. What's next, Josh?
My next coffee. I think it's more comfortable down here to sit at the table. We're in the, where are we, developer
lab.
Lab, yeah. So we changed rooms. We were upstairs earlier, wherever we were, and now we're down here. I'm relaxing with a coffee. We are going to have Philip and Michael for our live Q&A. Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh,
Nice.
Good to see you.
Thanks for joining us.
Good.
Very good. Do you want to ask the first question to these guys?
Yeah, I can. There's one I can ask you from the audience.
Michael, I can take it if you want. So, yes, for sure. So first of all, we need to acknowledge this. This is also, I mean, we need to...
No phone is connected.
So thank you so much for dialing in, and talk to you next time. It was a really great session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Michael, as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So to that point, real quick, I want to just rattle off a couple of session titles. DT110, Integration and Openness for SAP S4 Hana.
Yeah, you're right, Josh, we're at the end.
Here comes the next
With
one.
us. But it's like, it was like counting
It's
down.
very quick. It goes fast.
Welcome back. Well, it appears, Thomas, that we missed a lot of fun while we were sleeping. I think Menina and Josh were having a great time and having some great interviews.
We got some rest still.
We did.
But they did a great show there.
They did indeed. So this next session, combining multiple data sources has always been a challenge for any organization, whether they be just SAP or external or third-party sources. So this entire hour, we're going to dedicate to SAP Warehouse Cloud. But at the last TechEd, I think you had some interesting interactions with the customer on this topic.
Yeah, actually, it was a few years back. I was in Barcelona and I talked to one of the developers there, and he was an on-prem BW customer, and he was like, "Oh, we're looking at the company, we're looking into like moving to the cloud. So there's a lot of like things. Where should I go?" And he was like going around like checking out the sessions, the show floor, etc. And he got enough information, and a few weeks later he updated me then to see like, okay, we made the progress, we got enough information, and we convinced our management, and this is the path forward. This is a great story to see how people are picking up new technologies and from TechEd and taking it into their companies.
Absolutely, and it's one of the things I do miss about being in person for TechEd is like the hands-on sessions where you get to walk around amongst the customers, watch them use your product, get their real feedback, and just really have the great chats with them. So I look forward to doing that again when we're allowed to. But for this hour, we've got a lot of content for you. We're very excited to have an expert interview with Torsten Ammon coming up very, very shortly. So he's got a lot of great topics to talk about. Data Warehouse Cloud was a really important topic in our keynote. So we're going to go a little deeper with Torsten on some of the topics that Jürgen had raised. And we're also going to have a customer interview with Snam. So this is going to be quite interesting to really hear from a customer perspective how they're using not only Data Warehouse Cloud, but also SAP Analytics Cloud. So a little close to my heart. And then we also have our expert Q&A, as always. So make sure to get your questions in. Torsten will be back with us for this portion, but we'll also have a number of experts who will be available to answer all your questions. So get on the tool, get your questions in, or if you see other questions coming from other people, vote them up so we know which ones to put to our experts. So that's all coming up. But first of all, we're going to have our expert interview.
Yeah, and I think it's all about like learning more about the Data Warehouse Cloud, the strategy, where it's going. And of course, there's nobody better than to have the head of Data Warehouse Cloud with us. It's Torsten Ammon. And he knows it inside out. So it's also, as Orla just said, Torsten will be joining us later on the expert Q&A. So if you have any questions, please put it into the Q&A tool, and then Torsten and his colleagues will check it out and answer them later on for you. Also, if there's something which is unclear right now, like from the initial discussion what Torsten and I will have, that's exactly your chance to go into the Q&A and go deeper. But with that, let me bring up Torsten Ammon and welcome here to TechEd live in 2021. Hi, Torsten, how are you doing?
Great, thank you, and welcome as well from my side.
Perfect. So I mentioned already you are the head of data warehousing or data warehouse in general, and overall it's a very diverse data warehouse portfolio. So you have the on-prem world, you have the cloud, you have the private, the public cloud. What is the overall data warehouse strategy, and how would you recommend a customer story or journey around it, Torsten?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, if you look at our data warehousing portfolio, first of all, we are part of the business technology platform, and we support there the use case data to value. Within that use case, I mean, we want to help our customers with mainly three different areas, or we have our portfolio split in three areas and three pillars. So the first one is on-premise, and within the on-premise world, we have our Bw4 offering. Bw4 is for us a strategic offering. It has a long-term commitment until 2040 for our maintenance efforts. But beside that, we even invest as well into features and functions within Bw4. So we now recently released the Bw4 2021 release, which, for example, had functionality around GDPR. So we extended our solution portfolio there. And as well, it helps our customers to already bridge towards our cloud offering with more hybrid capabilities. Then we have the second pillar, which is our private cloud offering. As part of RISE, we want to help our customers to move towards the cloud. So we have there our private cloud offering Bw4, which is called Bw4 Hana PCE. So we exactly have there a one-to-one capability, which exists on the on-premise world, transition, move to do a first step towards the cloud. And then finally, we have our public cloud offering, which is our strategic go-to solution, which is Data Warehouse Cloud, and is a software as a service solution, which is powered by Hana Cloud, so really strong capabilities. And there we offer exactly new use cases, which we want to enable that our customers can gain insights into their data and have a modern data warehousing solution.
Perfect. And I think just like a slightly follow-up question to the data warehouse cloud, like why data warehouse cloud for data warehousing in general? Like maybe you can go deeper on that one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, why data warehouse cloud? And maybe, and you named it in the introduction. I mean, there is still an overarching challenge which our customers face. And it is how to combine SAP and non-SAP data, how to bring it together. But if you really want to solve this challenge, I mean, you need to solve certain challenges within which are a little bit more deeper into the details. So on the one side, you need to integrate data, you need to model your data, and then finally you want to visualize your data. And all of this you get via Data Warehouse Cloud, so the data integration capabilities, then on the other hand, the data modeling functionality, and we tightly integrate it as well with Analytics Cloud to use then this as a visualization layer on top of our data warehousing portfolio. The next point is, if you think of the end-to-end solution, which we address with Data Warehouse Cloud, still you have the challenge of how to set the data into context. I mean, how do you understand what the field means and how is it interpreted? And that's why we have a capability within our Data Warehouse Cloud solution, which is the semantic layer to help you exactly to bring different data assets from different sources, if it is SAP sources or non-SAP sources, together and harmonize them on a semantic level to use it and to access that data within a trust and governed environment. And then finally, if you think of data democratization, I think, which is everywhere around, how can more stakeholder work with the data? We want to enable our business and IT user group, so both of them. So we want to go beyond traditional data warehousing. And that portfolio exactly to enable business users, we have a key concept within our Data Warehouse Cloud, which is called Spaces. And Spaces enable to empower on the one side business users, but on the other side help IT as well to keep their governance, to keep their trust, and help them to share data assets within the company or even with external partners to help them to access their data, to get the freedom to create, for example, an exploration space, work in that space, and then enable within that environment their insights to get into the capability of using data warehousing functionality for driving your insights and your value within your company.
Perfect. There's also you have hybrid, you have BW Bridge for reuse and integration. What is the recommendation for the customers from your side?
Yeah, and you named 2 points, but let's maybe do a step back. I mean, if I talked a lot about the challenge combining SAP, non-SAP data, I talked about the value proposition of Data Warehouse Cloud. And then one feedback I always get is kind of, Torsten, I understood where you're heading for, but I'm somewhere else. I mean, I'm on the BW landscape, I'm on an HANA SQL layer or setup, data warehousing setup, and how can I reach the next or your modern data warehousing platform? And that's exactly why we have two kind of functionalities and capabilities. The first one is hybrid. the hybrid capability helps us. You can stay with your on-premise environment, but we take your investments, for example, which you did into BW, we take your metadata, transfer this to Data Warehouse Cloud, and help you to access your BW stack via a federated way. And on the other side, you can then enable via the space concept, which I described a second ago, as well within Data Warehouse Cloud, new use cases, which you can then enable your business users to work with BW data, to share the data externally, or to even further drive additional use cases with non-SAP data, combining it within Data Warehouse Cloud. And then the second point, which I'm really proud to talk about, which is the BW Bridge, which now finally helps our customers if they want to consolidate and if they want to help our customers. If we want to help our customers to move fully towards a consolidated BW stack, that we have the possibility to really convert your BW environment towards the cloud, toward our Data Warehouse Cloud offering. And this shows up as one space within Data Warehouse Cloud. It's our BW Bridge space. And within that space, you get the possibility to leverage the BW extractors, the well-known, the ABAP transformations, your custom objects which you did within BW, and as well the staging layer of BW, and then combine it, share it again with the capabilities within Data Warehouse Cloud and leverage it on top of or within Data Warehouse Cloud and leverage the functionality on top of your BW Bridge.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, and there was definitely a lot of news yesterday also in Jürgen's keynote. BW Bridge was all over. One more last question on the non-SAP or the external data. How do you handle that one in Data Warehouse Cloud?
Yeah, and I mean, I talked about now the three topics we want to help to solve the challenge of SAP and non-SAP data. We had the topic of that we help you to leverage your investments within your data warehousing portfolio and to help you to consolidate as well your overall portfolio. And for sure, we want to even go further within our setup. And that's exactly why we introduced now in beta our data marketplace, and it will be in Q1, at the beginning of Q1 as well, available towards usage. So we introduced the data marketplace, and the data marketplace helps you really that you shorten your time until you can use external data assets. And these external data assets, if you now think of a current approach of typical projects which you do, I think it's a huge effort to integrate data, external data assets. You need to rework a lot. It's hard to work with the technical interfaces, to use flat files to integrate this. And exactly all of this we want to overcome. So that's exactly why we want to make projects happen via clicks and not that you have huge integration projects. And this all is done via the data marketplace, which has data providers available and has as well the capability that you can use it as part of Data Warehouse Cloud within, again, our space concept. And as well, the other way around, if you are a customer and has data assets within your environment, you can use as well the data marketplace for sharing. So there is a data sharing cockpit included. So you can start turning your assets as well and getting additional value out of it and use it as an external facing, for example, for partners, or even make money out of it, or to have a data monetization capability as well within Data Warehouse Cloud. So these two things help you then to really fast integrate and use external data sets, including your SAP data sets within Data Warehouse Cloud.
Perfect. Now, thank you so much. This was a really great conversation, a lot of insights. So we will see you later in the expert Q&A. I say for shortly goodbye, but then we see you later. Thanks a lot, Torsten.
Thank you.
Great. Well, that was really interesting. I think there's so many new and exciting things coming with DWC, but always best to hear from our customers, right, how they're using it. So next up, we have Mohammed Abdel Hadi, who's head of Data Warehouse Cloud Product Management and Strategy. And he met with our customer SNAM just a little while ago to talk to them about some of the challenges they were facing for giving agility of data to their customers. So what they did is they had a combination of SAP Data Warehouse Cloud and SAP Analytics Cloud, which helped them to secure access to both their BW, as we've just seen, and their ECC systems to give them real-time insights. So let's take a look at the story from SNAM.
Yeah, hello, David. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today, we're talking about Data Warehouse Cloud. As you know, Data Warehouse Cloud is our strategic solution for all SAP applications. And we see a lot of customers running Data Warehouse Cloud, especially the customers who going this S4 route and BW, etc. So happy to have you here as one of the innovative customer. So really happy that you share your experience with Data Warehouse Cloud. But before we jump into the details, Davide, please tell us a little bit about SNAM and also about your role exactly.
Yeah, thank you, Mo. SNAM is the world's leading energy infrastructure operators and Europe's main regulator gas company. We transport and dispatch natural gas. Our main goal is to parse a sustainable model of growth and invest in the new energy transition projects. Data and analytics help us on our business better. Digitalization and automation allow us to improve our processes and optimize our resources. I'm an IT project manager at SNAM, where I'm responsible for implementing data and analytic solutions for finance department.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for sharing. So let's jump directly into the data and analytics. So what was the reason to select SAP Data Warehouse Cloud, and what were you trying to achieve with the application?
Well, we were approached by the SNAM Finance department to explore a solution that allow for service analytic and better data discovery. Our research showed that we need to first provide the business with a greater autonomy from IT to combine data sources and model data. We want our business user to have an ability to run reporting as they need it. Second, to provide our business with a shorter time to value and enable them to connect non-SAP data sources and upload departmental Excel files. Third, develop capability to easily replace official attributes or hierarchy to simulate and explore impacts of organizational changes. Data Warehouse Cloud answered all of our needs and received particular interest from the business, as it's tight integrate with Analytics Cloud, a tool we have been already using at SNAM.
Yeah, that's great to hear, and you're right. So one of our top use cases is bringing SAP and non-SAP together, and exactly what you are saying about finance. Finance is a big driver in our transformation towards Data Warehouse Cloud. So if I can ask you one question, and is that about, do you consider also other solutions on the market to help with these issues, or did you have to go straight with Data Warehouse Cloud?
Well, we did it, but we decided to choose a solution from SAP. We have a strong investment in SAP products like ERP, BW, SuccessFactors. We know that SAP solution understand SAP data out of the box. Setting up a connection between SAP solution is easy, and we can seamlessly automate business processes between all the products. This reduces the need to replicate and helps us down data silos across the company.
Yeah, David, that's a great point. Reduce friction, reduce data duplication. That's why we invested a lot in the replication and federated case in both technologies. And also, like what you said, understanding the semantics of the SAP systems with Data Warehouse Cloud is also key, and we see it more and more in this kind of project. So nice to hear that is going the right direction. So you talked a little bit about SAP Analytics Cloud. You talked about implementation. So what was the big change in your organization? What do you saw as the biggest benefit? What you saw?
Well, we finally have a tool that brings both IT and business together. We can collaborate better in spaces organized by analytic project. We set up a working group called the Design Authority, consisting of both IT employee and a business user that has the mandate to model data and build the reports. With Data Warehouse Cloud, we were able to extend the modeling capability to more business users and reduce the burden on IT. Our company is much more agile. We can prototype much quicker and explore data much easier than before. We now trust our data and we can make better business decisions.
Yeah, I really like this, what you said, collaboration and prototyping. That was why we developed the solution key for us, this kind of agility to run very fast new projects, test that with the business and then go live. This is a totally new approach, I would say, also on your side. A very innovative approach, Davide, I really like it. So tell us a little bit, what's next with data analytics at Snam?
Well, we continue to innovate and modernize our stack. We want to continue investing in SAP Business Technology Platform to take even more advantage of our data. In the next year, we are planning to migrate our ECC to SAP for Hana systems. Then all BW reports to Bw4 Hana to see improvement in our data performance. Our IT department will pay more and more attention to the new technology in the cloud, for example.
Yeah, that's interesting and nice to hear. So as I said, S4 is a big driver for Data Warehouse Cloud, but also BW with our hybrid approach, right? And customers more and more moving also workload from BW to Data Warehouse Cloud with these reuse capabilities, which we will provide. So that's everything sounds very, very good, Davide. So and also happy that you shared these projects with us. And of course, good luck with your future projects. And as you know, we are running globally Data Warehouse Cloud roundtables, but also on the SAC side, where we invite customers and talking to other customers to share their experience and also to give us feedback. Looking forward really to hear about your future results of your future projects. And of course, always hear the feedback. Feel free to reach to us in any priority discussion and also hopefully that our roadmap also aligns with your internal roadmap. So big thanks from my side. You have the full support from our team, and thanks a lot. I think that's very valuable for the whole community that you shared your story. Thanks a lot and wish you a good day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
So this was great insights from Snam as a customer around there, working with the Data Warehouse Cloud. Of course, it's also now we are back into the expert Q&A, and we just heard from Torsten before. He will be back. He will be joining our expert panel. And then in addition to Torsten, we also have Fabian Hartier. He is head for product management data warehouse, and he will be also joined by Hagen Jander, responsible for strategy and market adoption. So we have three great colleagues coming up here, and would like to invite them here into our living room, along with Casimir. I don't know if he's around. A lot of people getting distracted.
Yeah, he was doing yoga earlier again.
Okay, good, good. Hi, how are you guys doing?
Hello. Great.
Good.
Thank you.
Well.
Perfect.
Doing well, thanks for having us.
Yeah, no, it's great to have you on here in the morning, or it's almost lunchtime here in Frankfurt. So the first question I have, and I think I probably shoot it over to you, Fabian, and it could be actually from Orla, because I know Orla works on SAP Analytics Cloud. So the question is, when and how is SAP Analytics Cloud planning and Data Warehouse Cloud being integrated?
Yeah, perfect question. So, and also this is what we hear from a lot of customers, right? And so we did a whole lot of effort bringing SAP Analytics Cloud and the analytics portion based on Data Warehouse Cloud. And now we also see we will be doing the next step for SAC planning alike. What it means is we will do that in a stepwise approach. Number one is really integrate SAC planning in such a manner that you can take advantage of the data residing in Data Warehouse Cloud, still in a replication-based fashion. Where you still replicate data off Data Warehouse Cloud into your SAC planning environment, still do your planning as you did it before, and actually then play the planning results back into Data Warehouse Cloud. With a final target that we are heading for is to have SAC planning working live on the data residing in Data Warehouse Cloud, so no data replication at all anymore, taking the full advantage of modeling that was already done within Data Warehouse Cloud, taking this one then also as the baseline for your planning, and then finally having the planning results directly available again in Data Warehouse Cloud. And so these will be the two steps that we are planning for. First step, until the mid of next year, the planning as a service step, as we call it, until the end of next year. And this is how we want to progress it, right? To really give customers the full chance and the full possibilities that we deliver with Data Warehouse Cloud in this respect. If you look on it from an SAC planning perspective, it doesn't change anything about the planning functionality. This will remain as it is today. So planning resides in SAC, also the functionality as you know it. What we're just doing is we're changing the data foundation and make it directly available from within Data Warehouse Cloud.
Perfect. So next one is Ticket. It's definitely a developer question. So it goes BW Bridge, and the question there is, can you use custom ABAP code with BW Bridge? Maybe Hagen, if you can chime in on that one.
No, definitely. Maybe let's also start a bit more upfront. Torsten already mentioned BW Bridge also as one of the highlights, also mentioned by Jürgen in the keynote yesterday. And just to recap on what we actually try to achieve here, it's really about going the step beyond the hybrid approach, right? So the hybrid approach is already a great first step for many customers who seek to adopt Data Warehouse Cloud to get all the benefits brought in association with that. So the self-service capabilities, the external data usage with the marketplace that Torsten just mentioned. But then ultimately, the question resides, should I actually run all my systems, BW or Bw4 and Data Warehouse Cloud in parallel until infinity, or is there a way to transition? And of course, and now coming to the question, ABAP code is definitely an important part that also many of our customers have invested in, that where they have bespoke and custom built solutions. And as such, for the part of the data ingestion and staging layer, also the transfer of ABAP code is clearly part of the bridge feature of Data Warehouse Cloud.
Excellent, and I'm sure that'll be music to a lot of BW customers' ears. As a former BW customer, we've got some great questions coming in here, which I personally want to know the answer to some of them, so I'm going to put you on the spot now. So if a customer has already BW set up and probably invested quite heavily in BW, why would they want to move or transition to Data Warehouse Cloud? What is in it for them? And maybe, Torsten, I'll give that to you.
Let me take it. I mean, for me, and I tried to already explain it a little bit via my overall value proposition. I mean, there is for sure, if you are happy with BW, I mean, you shouldn't move only due to the BW reasons. But I think there are a couple of challenges which occur in the meantime and which you need to address or need to find a way. And one of them is there is by far more heterogeneous solutions out in the market which you want to connect and which you want to have one access layer, where you have the possibility to work with the data, to enable the data, to work, for example, with business users with the data. If you look at BW, I would say one of the key differentiations, or one of the, if you compare it to Data Warehouse Cloud, is its main focus is on IT within BW. When you look at Data Warehouse Cloud, there is a business and IT focus. And we have as well with the space concept overall, we exactly want to enable more user groups and more people to work with the data assets. There is the second point, which is then the marketplace, which comes in, and as well our overall offering to closely integrate with external data assets. So like if you want to connect to an object store, if you want to load data as free bucket, Azure Blob Store as an example, and bring it together and combine it with your SAP data assets. And I think all of this you get via Data Warehouse Cloud. And I mean, then always the question remains, do I have on the long run 2 systems, or do I want to have potentially 1 system when I'm looking at my journey, my data to value journey? And that's exactly the point where we want to help our customers and offer the possibility to decide on that, how your journey looks like. And if you want to leverage your investments, that's exactly why you can use the BW Bridge as part of Data Warehouse Cloud.
Perfect. And I think from the questions we get here from the live audience, they're really BW customers and going deeper. So there's one question, real customer case as it looks like. We got multiple BW systems. So users got different access rights across the different sources. Can Data Warehouse Cloud handle that user got different access to different source systems? It's a long question. I hope you got it.
Yeah, I would give it a shot on that one. So that's a clear thing that we see across nearly every customer that establishes a data warehousing solution, right? It's you want to do analytics across different source systems, hence you need to think about how do you actually establish your authorization management in order to have the right analytic privileges all at one hand. And so the idea that we follow with Data Warehouse Cloud is to establish one central data access control layer within Data Warehouse Cloud, right? So we give you the chance with data access control and authorization scenarios to establish exactly the required analytical privileges within Data Warehouse Cloud. But we know exactly about the topic that a lot of authorization is already out there. The question is mentioned, I have multiple BW systems, hence there is also already analytical authorizations available on it. And so still we connect via service accounts / technical users to the source systems. We understand customers don't simply want to reinvest into the authorization management from scratch. And as such, we are offering what we call the remote authorizations, where we actually take over today from the Bw4 systems authorizations into Data Warehouse Cloud, get them represented as these data access controls and give you the chance from a single system to get it directly applied. And equally alike, if you now are running on a BW system, we are also expanding towards BW 7.5 to have the option of remote authorizations available. Hence, again, from a 7.5 system, you can import your authorizations into Data Warehouse Cloud, establish this one level of access and this one level of defense then from a data access control perspective. But I want leverage, again, Data Warehouse Cloud functionality, but reuse wisely what you already invested into, and hence don't push the customer simple into a double investment scenario. And this is also how we continue the journey. Today, it's available for BW, but we also are looking equally into source systems, how we can leverage transactional authorizations. Example is given from an S4 systems, and again, directly leverage that within Data Warehouse Cloud. And this is also where you will see our portfolio and our roadmap precisely spoken evolving to, and also the areas where we will also continue our investments into.
Excellent, thanks for that. So Torsten, you might have touched on this during the expert interview. To when does SAP plan to support Bw4 Hana, first of all? I think you mentioned it was 2040, but maybe you can confirm that. And then also, what is the roadmap for Bw4 Hana in the case going forward?
I mean, I maybe can start, but feel free, Fabian, as well to jump in. Overall, exactly like you said it, I mean, we have from a maintenance point of view, we have a commitment until 2040. We now released quite recently our new release for Bw4 Hana, the 2021, which was now in October. And we exactly will, one of the key areas where we will focus on as well during the next year, or it will take at least a couple of more quarters, is that we will further improve the hybrid capabilities. So a lot will happen around the possibility that you easily and really close can combine Bw4 Hana and as well our data warehouse stack, and that the transition and the access between these two gets as smooth as possible. So looking at hierarchy capabilities, which we want to offer during the hybrid capabilities, and as well the overall authorization setup, additional functionalities which you know out of the query. So this whole setup will get closer and closer. In addition, for me as well, which is one of the key areas in that one, we look into the conversion, which we want to make easier as well. So whenever you think of moving as well down the road to BW Bridge, we will look into the topics of starting from 7.3, that we make this as smooth as possible, that you can transition towards Bw4 or then as well the BW Bridge down the road.
Okay, perfect. There's a similar question. It's more like also kind of like a statement, but let's run it by. So for on-prem 7.5 Bw4 customers with a lot of custom code, the long-term strategy is to use the logic for the on-prem system and then bring it via BW Bridge to Data Warehouse Cloud.
Maybe I can take that one. So yeah, definitely, or as said, so custom code, also ABAP code, as also initially answered in the first question that came in, is definitely in the scope of the BW Bridge. If we really talk about long-term strategy, right, and this is what the question I think also refers to, need to acknowledge or ask ourselves is also, will the systems on the source side remain stable over time, or will they also be modernized over time? And as you probably know, or as also discussed as part of the other sessions, Data Warehouse Cloud has some modern data ingestion techniques, specifically when it comes to, as for example, modern connectivity to an S4 cloud system via CDS views, via virtual data fabric, and so on. And this would be, from our point of view, also the preferred way then in the end to connect. So in the end, the answer is a yes when it comes to the custom coding and transferring that custom code of a 7.5 or Bw4 system, and this is really then taken up in the bridge feature of Data Warehouse Cloud. But in the end, also our idea would be that in line with the source systems that evolve over time and are then also in most of the cases that we will see modernized into a modern cloud environment. Anyhow, some of that is refactored in the end and updated, and then the Data Warehouse Cloud native connectivity techniques and not the ABAP-based or BW Bridge-based capabilities would be used.
Excellent question. And I think that Casimir might be a BW fan. He's typing away furiously into his laptop there. I think that's where all these BW questions are coming from. But we'll continue on. BW seems to be a real important topic. So we know some customers have gigantic BW systems, like terabytes and terabytes, like really, really big. And they also have huge performance requirements. Are there any infrastructure limitations when moving and using this with Data Warehouse Cloud?
I can take it as well. Overall, I mean, there are always limitations. To now say there aren't any, so there are always limitations. Nevertheless, Data Warehouse Cloud and as well the BW Bridge are powered by Hana Cloud. So we consequently and month by month are already increasing our overall capability, how the system, how much terabyte we can keep, how much storage we can keep, how much compute. And as well, we are working on the other side to be efficient, to work with exactly the resources we are having and to streamline that overall setup, that it gets as well efficient, how we query the data, how we manage the data in that setup. So I would say it's really kind of a month-by-month update that we increase our storage. I think it's currently up to 32 terabyte, if I have it right in mind. On the storage side, and then on the compute side, we always, depending on the ratio and on the need, we extend this as well. So most likely, if I talk about it next month, it's anyhow already updated as of, for sure, we want to support you as good as possible in your transition.
Good. Now, so there's plenty of questions, so the team is doing a lot of work also in the background to answer them. So I want to thank you, Torsten, Fabian, and Hagen, to come on the show here and answer the question live. This is really tough, but you see there's a lot of interest. So also big thanks from my side, and have a good day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. It was a pleasure.
Excellent. Oh, well, that was interesting. Clearly, our BW customers are really engaged in this topic. So if you didn't, if your question hasn't been got to, please go to the Data Warehouse Cloud community, where there will certainly be more experts waiting to take your questions. We know this is a really hot topic, so make sure that you go and do that there. So we're just going to talk about a couple of related sessions in the session catalogue. So first up, we have the ability to explore the present and the future of data warehousing in SAP, and that is ANA 100. Also, as we just talked about a little bit there, and I think Jürgen mentioned in the keynote, the Business Warehouse Bridge. So if you want to hear more about that, we can go to ANA 200.
Good, and then there is also the ultimate session by the title. It just says Explore Data Warehouse Cloud from A to Z. That's ANA 161. This is a hands-on session, and you might now check it out in the session catalog and you find, oh, this one is waitlisted. So yes, these are some of the hands-on sessions. They are limited from the capacity because we only have a handful of experts doing it, and we will also require you to prepare for these sessions. That's why they are limited. Nevertheless, all the information is available for you to check out. You can go to the GitHub repository, get the instructions, and then do it at your own pace later. We also will do recording of these sessions, and they will be available for you to replay, so you can enjoy it at a later time and go deep into Data Warehouse Cloud and learn exactly what the experts have done in the hands-on session. Yeah, so there's definitely a lot on these Data Warehouse Cloud and BW customers coming in from the questions. Quick reminder also from my side, Data Warehouse Cloud is also available in the community. So you can go to the community, look for Data Warehouse Cloud, and engage there with your questions. But also I know the products and the product expert teams are doing a lot of great blog posts in the community to guide you through. So there's a wealth of information, and exactly like also towards these scenarios and the questions we just have seen coming in from Channel 1, this is exactly what you can explore also in the community and engage. And also I think these are great opportunities to share this with the community. If you have done a certain migration or you have started with a journey and you run into a problem, maybe you can outline it, and the community is happily, and also our experts are happily to come in, join you, and answer the questions. So with that, there's plenty of information, and of course, there's always a track available in the background.
Absolutely. Yeah, so Casimir has joined us, but not only Casimir, we have Lena. Hi, Lena.
Hi, both.
How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm great.
So we're excited for our next remote check-in.
I'm looking forward to my travel experience continuation, actually, yes. So we've been to Australia before, we've been to Northern Ireland before, and I'm looking forward to staying in Europe, but meeting our friend and SAP mentor, Daniel Graverson, in Denmark. So thanks, Daniel, for joining us. There you are. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure being here.
You're totally on brand. Look at this. You look great in your SAP mentor shirt. I love it.
I have to wear it. This is the time you kind of have to wear the mentor shirt, I guess.
Definitely, definitely. So how has your SAP TechEd experience been so far?
I really loved it. So yesterday I was visiting SAP Denmark. And there we had a keynote show, or saw the keynotes together in a watch party, and had the conversation afterwards that you normally would do at a TechEd, which is kind of the good thing about meeting people and getting to understand something from a different perspective.
Great. So you've been part of TechEd last year already because you've been part of the SAP community talk. And you also are part of this year's TechEd, not only in the remote check-in, but...
Tomorrow also, where we'll be talking about the hack to build and how it was to win that session.
Great. You're an SAP integration expert, and I know that you're probably very much interested in all of our integration sessions. There's been one this morning. Did you make it to that early morning session?
There was one at 3 or something like that. I didn't make that one, but my son woke me up at 6 o'clock, so I made the 6:30 session. So that was a good one about patterns in the enterprise integration suite. So that was good.
Perfect. Have you? I'm sure you did. Have you watched the executive keynote, and what has been your main key takeaways from it?
So yeah, we watched it with the SAP team there. That was really great. I think the main thing that I'm really excited about is the free tier and the enablement of developers. So when I started out as a freelance developer way back, it was really difficult to actually get your hands on a SAP technology and try to build anything on it. You had to find a client that were using that and then work with them. And with this free tier and all the learning opportunities, it becomes a lot easier for actually developers to get started building applications for the SAP ecosystem. And I think that is one of the key aspects that I really enjoy, the openness to developers.
Great, thank you for sharing. You also just mentioned that you started as a freelance consulting, and I know that you founded your very own company, Figaf. And congratulations on your app that you recently launched. Do you want to share a little bit about that?
Yes, so we've over the last 6 years worked on creating tools to automate SAP integration. This spring, SAP hosted this hack to build that we'll talk a little more over tomorrow morning. And we want that about creating a tool to automate PI to CPI migrations. We released it in the App Store, I guess, a month ago, and that was quite a lot of extra attention that it's given, and also, being able to talk with people. It seemed like this is the right time to actually deliver something like that. There's a lot of people talking about Rise with SAP and all these other programs about migration to newer platforms.
Great. I know that you're also talking about it in your integration podcast. How did you come about with your integration podcast? That's so cool.
So I wanted to create it somewhere that was sharing a little more insight about what integration developers were doing and trying to understand why people were actually, or what they were considering when doing integration. So that was the idea, to get some different inspiration about what type of integration you're doing, why you're doing it, and with that, being able to share some stories to the integration community.
And how often do you have that podcast live?
Unfortunately, it has been some time since we've been there, or since I've recorded it. It's a lot of hassle to find people to interview and get their stories, and all the NDAs, etc., that is required in that perspective. So for now, I don't have that much time for it.
It is time consuming, I can totally imagine. So what kind of sessions are you looking forward to? We're not even halfway through of our 48 tech marathon.
So obviously I'm looking forward to my other sessions to tomorrow. And then there was one on integration on ISAM methodology about doing integrations. I saw a couple of sessions on Graph. That is also interesting, and obviously the SAP roadmap for integration was a good session. And I think so. It's obviously these are pre-recorded, but I do think that there's also a lot of value in understanding the questions that are actually coming up in these sessions, because that is anyway what. You anyway want to hear what are the things that other people are actually concerned about or querying about.
Exactly. Will you watch it on your own, or will you join a watch party with the SAP mentors?
Probably I'll watch the developer keynote with the SAP mentors watch party. Cool. I couldn't go to SAP today, so let's see how that will go. I think there's a lot of extra conversation going into that forum also.
Enjoy. I'm so much looking forward to the developer keynote, to finally tune in and watch it, because I've heard so much. It's apparently super, super funny. I can give that spoiler away.
And there was a lot of cliffhangers.
Yeah, definitely. So have fun tomorrow at Legoland, Daniel. I know that you're going to Legoland with your son. I'm a little bit jealous, but I'm actually not, because I'm here, so that's also great. So have a good one, Daniel. I'll talk to you soon. Great chatting with you. Thank you so much for sharing your insights here with us in Channel 1. Thank you. Great, so that was Daniel tuning in from Denmark. It was great hearing his insights, what he's looking forward to, and what the community out there thinks about the event so far. Guys, actually, have you been to Legoland before?
Actually, yes. And I know that someone, I don't know, maybe he's watching from my family, would love to go again. And yeah, I need to just find the time, but I'm a big Lego fan myself. And I just love it to put new things together.
Yeah, no, I brought my nephews a number of years ago and it was super fun, not just for them, but for the adults as well. I think people of all ages just love Lego.
Well, I haven't been yet. Thomas, maybe that's something that we can come up with for our next developer relations team meeting one day.
That's how my team works, like on camera, getting commitment. So great, thank you. Yeah, we need to work on it.
Is that a yes?
Yes, sir, yes.
Ooh! Okay, so you heard it, you're all my witness. There will be definitely selfies from Legoland one day, hopefully soon.
Excellent.
Perfect. Looking forward.
Yay, so what's coming up next?
Lunch, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about that time.
It's about that time, and there's a lot of information coming right after, because I think we need a little bit of break.
We do.
And as we heard, there's a lot of like new content coming up here in the repeat section. So these are pre-recorded sessions which you might have missed because it was in the middle of the night or too early for you. One to point out is the BTP with Michael Weingartner. They go deep into the business technology platform. Then also one, data to power the digital transformation. This is with Irfan Khan. So going around the whole data portfolio much deeper. And of course, last but not least, this is also coming up later on. It's about ABAP, and I know a lot of you have this already earmarked in your schedule. So that's coming later on, of course, also the developer keynote.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing just to drive home is the fact that we may be taking a slight break and these sessions may be pre-recorded, but the chat and the Q&A will have plenty of people there, so you can watch them, you can ask questions, you can engage in the chat. So the whole interactive experience will still be there. So you make sure you get in and watch them.
Yeah, I think this was a lot of fun. I had a great time. This was a great session. Data Warehouse Cloud is hot, as you have seen it. A lot of questions from the customers. This is really great to see the interaction. But I think it's time for us to take a short break, get refreshed. I might take a short run, let's see. And then we are seeing us later again this evening.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Looking forward to it.
Perfect. Have a good day.
Thanks, everyone.
See you later.
Hi, my name is Regine Schimmer. I'm a product manager at SAP and the TechEd content lead for security and identity management. I held my first session at a TechEd in 2002 about authentication options in the SAP portal. And this year, you can watch a demo about passwordless authentication in the cloud. So technology has shortchanged over the past 19 years. You can also get information on things like our cybersecurity strategy, identity lifecycle management, the enterprise security services in the cloud, and a lot more interesting security topics at TechEd this year. So whether you want to learn something completely new or improving a skill that you already have, TechEd is the place to be.